How's it going, everybody? I am Preston Johnson.
Welcome to
Last Word Cheetah, brought to you by Bets TV.
As a general philosophy.
That's exactly right. You're a fish.
Qwan, by the way, my producer, Qwan Young, doing a good job. He'll be taking the calls. How you doing today, bud?
Hey, man, how are you?
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Welcome to the show, Bets TV, bringing you Last Word Cheetah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Last Word Cheetah. We are back from the long break over the holiday. Hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Qwan was out of town yesterday, flying back into Southern California. He's here. He's in the Bets TV studios. I'm Preston Johnson, your host. Qwan, co-hosting and producing, taking your calls, 661-515-BETS. It is the last day of the month. We have a leaderboard. We give away cash to the person that calls in and has the best ROI at the end of the month. Mike is so far ahead of everyone else. I don't actually think anyone can win taking shots on stuff that actually concludes this month. So most of the calls, I imagine, will be related to December. Mike is up 44.9 units. Jim in second, which, by the way, plus 21.45 would have won every other month this show is done. But Mike hit two or three of the first TD props he shot at this month, and he's going to take it down. Now, there's only $350 in the prize pool, which, unfortunately for Mike, is the lowest prize pool we've had. We got to figure out a way to do something for this final day, maybe in the NBA where I have to, I don't know. We got to at least get like another $150 in there. Qwan, if you have any ideas in the next 57 minutes, let me know. But we have to do some sort of wager. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of something over the break too, and it was just like, there's games, I guess.
It's that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas where my brain just doesn't work.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
He just let me know his brain doesn't work for the next 3 weeks.
This is all muscle memory at this point because I almost messed up the intro. We reverted back to June when we first started. I almost left your mic off. So this is all muscle memory at this point. I'm going off of what we've done for the past 100 or so episodes.
Fair enough. We'll get by. We'll go ahead and start the calls because Mike's going to win this thing. I imagine people are just going to call in and start firing on championship week in college football, another week of NFL, or there's NBA. By the way, like the best game of the NBA season is tonight. Do you know who it is?
Suns Warriors.
Yeah. We got Golden State in Phoenix. Suns are laying 2.5. Totals 221.5. The Suns have won 16 in a row. They're 17-3. They started 1-3, but they've been fantastic. It's hard to win 16 games in a row in the NBA. The Warriors are 18-2. So you don't often get teams with, 850 and 900 winning percentages facing off in professional sports. We get that tonight. That's actually going to be the day one Who Wants to Be a Betting Extraordinaire question as well for those that are calling in an hour to play for your shot at $25,000. With that, let's find out. Nick, I believe, was first, you said? All right, Nick, what is up? How'd your holiday go? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, holiday was great. Had a pretty good college football weekend. Somehow Iowa made the Big Ten championship, so that's kind of cool as a Hawkeye fan, I guess. But a little bit of a rough NFL Sunday, but I was kind of due for one of those. It's been a while, so but yeah, it was a good weekend overall. How about yours?
It was great, man. It was relaxing. College went well. Only one NFL in that one, and one college basketball. I bet on BYU against Utah that Saturday night game.
Nice.
The Holy War had to. So they took care of business in the second half. It was good. It was a great weekend. Got to relax with family. So let me ask you what you're going to roll with. Are you looking at a conference championship game? Is there anything that sticks out? General thoughts before I share any of mine.
Yeah, sure. There's a few I actually like, and it's kind of weird. Like, I honestly, I'm more like you. Like, my volume decreases as the year goes on, and there's more edges in the beginning of the year. But I'm surprised how many edges I'm finding this year, kind of this late in the year. It's a little bit unusual for me. I'll put it that way. But
if it's worked out,
today,
then nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's worked out. It's working. Yeah, it's working. So can't complain. For today, let's roll with App State -2.5, -114 at FanDuel. I'm guessing that's the best price, but at least that's what I got.
think there's a minus 111. I was just looking at this because now, to ruin everyone's hopes, that's the only edge I have on the whole board. That's worth betting.
Gotcha.
And most of the board is 3, so like you have to shop for 2.5. But I like App State. It's one that the difference between 2.5 and like 4 is pretty significant. So I would be with you on this side. Anything else that you like or want to break down for us there?
With App State, I'll just put it this way: this is more of this has nothing to do with Billy Napier leaving ULL. Like this is
right.
This is just if you look at the last 2 seasons of ULL, they're plus 11 in one possession games, 6 this year and 5 last year. Like they're squeaking by against some pretty bad teams, and while App State's burying them. So I know ULL won pretty convincingly earlier this year against them, but that more to me was just like a one-off as opposed to kind of how both teams have played this season. And so I make the game higher as far as ULL goes. If you want me to throw in a couple of the other college sides that I sort of like, I kind of feel weird about this, but. Yeah, sure. I'll say if you can get under 3 on Utah, I like that. I know it kind of went back and forth a little bit on open between 2.5 and 3, and I know it's pretty much 3 everywhere now. But if it's under 3, I like Utah. I played Baylor plus 6 on that one against Oklahoma State. And I lean Kent State hard. If you can get under 3 on Kent State at minus 110, I do like Kent State on that side as well. Oh, and I also like Western Kentucky. Sorry, I got to throw that in there. I like the Hilltoppers as well.
That just went to 2 a lot of places too, like 5 minutes before the show. I noticed. I know a lot of people that like Western Kentucky. I am basically right on. So for me, nothing there. But quite a few people I know like Western Kentucky. I think there might be a little bit of a weather thing, and if that's the case, and they can't throw, it begs the question, can they beat UTSA without their passing game? I'm just going to stay away. But
Sure.
I know a lot of people. I wouldn't be surprised if that ended up getting closer to 3 by kickoff on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I also this number's long gone, and I don't think there's any chance of it ever coming back. But I did like Cal under the 3, but that's long.
Why
gone,
does everyone like Cal? Like Toons was tweeting about it. A bunch of threads. I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, Toons tweeted about it. Hurry and bet Cal minus 2.5 and 3." I don't like it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I'll be honest. I'd bet the other side if I had to.
Okay. Well, at this number, now what's it up to? It's up to what, 4 right now? I think if I'm so yeah, it's up to 4.
4.5's even.
I mean, wow. Yeah. I don't know. Net yards per play, Cal is way better than USC right now in the net yards per play right now. I don't know. USC has been ever since that USC Stanford game, I've been so afraid to play on or against USC for the most part, but I think Cal's much better than their record indicates. So I don't know. I just lean to the Cal side on this one. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of understand what you're saying though at this point because the number's this high, but I don't know. I like Cal under the 3.
I'm not saying you can trust USC either, but I mean, I think you're paying a premium betting against them. They looked pretty good against BYU. Their run game was actually fantastic in the second half. They probably win the game if they don't call one of the weakest roughing the pass. I'm a BYU fan. There was, to start the second half, one of the weakest roughing the passer penalties I've ever seen. USC picks it off. They would have been in the red zone to start the drive early in the second half. Instead, BYU scores off the roughing the passer. They go up 15. So when USC comes all the way back, that was ultimately a 2 TD swing. BYU wins a close one. I don't know. I actually don't mind the USC side, but I know it's kind of theoretically a mess with everything that's going on now. All the Lincoln Riley hype, like people just want to fade. I guess that whole thing. Plus 4.5 is kind of enticing, but that's just a write-in game that no one actually cares about. I don't know if I'll end up betting it, but anyways, fair enough. I just was curious because everyone loves Cal, and they just got blasted by UCLA. Couldn't even move the ball against them, like in that second half, especially. That wasn't comforting at all.
Yeah, it's a unique situation for certainly, kind of because having a game on conference championship weekend when no one else, regular season game when no one else does, and then the Lincoln Riley thing now, which I think is a home run for USC, all things considered. It's a unique situation, certainly, no doubt about it.
All right, Nick, thanks for rapping with me. We will talk to you later on. Enjoy your day.
Sounds good. You too. Yep.
See ya. By the way, Qwan, before we get to the rest of the callers, did you hear the details of Lincoln Riley's deal?
Was that true? The $110 million, and then they paid off both of his houses.
They bought both of his houses for $500,000 each over cost, which means it's like an extra $1 million in his pocket as like a signing bonus.
Yeah.
him and his family and friends have unlimited use of the USC private jet. That's like, I've never really seen a deal go to those lengths, and his agent got it done. I mean, if USC's that desperate, which they are, I mean, I guess I get it, but go.
The sooner you get him out of Oklahoma, the better.
The sooner.
Those contract deals.
You look, Rattler. I'm going to OU fan for a second. I'm not, but I'm just saying. I'm going to put myself in their shoes. You lose Lincoln Riley, who had obviously got your program to a really good spot the last few years. Really good at getting the quarterbacks that end up going to the NFL. Rattler's not going to probably be at that level, but he's transferred out already.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams now, like what? He was like a top recruit. Is he going to stay for who knows who at Oklahoma? Going into the SEC now to play those defenses, like, nah, Caleb Williams might be out too. Oklahoma's like,
and all the decommits they had yesterday.
They're going to lose all of the Southern California guys to USC now. Anyways, they're just going to follow Lincoln Riley. Like, it sucks to be soon. Like, would you go to the SEC at this point, knowing now with the situation of the program? I don't think I would definitely be staying in the Big 12. More quickly get to this point again with whoever you bring in. It's going to be like they could be bottom third of the SEC easily next year.
Who do you think? Do you think they bring who could come in and
everyone? I don't think they've even mentioned names yet or anything, right? Like I haven't paid too much attention to the news today. I mean, a bunch of the bigger names are getting scooped anyways. All these other programs. Anyway, I don't want to go too far into like, let's discuss the future of Oklahoma. But like, I've never seen a 180 as drastic as that in my recent memory. Like, they were up 9 against Oklahoma State, about to go maybe win the Big 12.
Yeah.
And they fumble the punt inside their own 5. Oklahoma State ends up taking the lead, so they muff the punt. Otherwise, they probably just win that game if they don't muff the punt. They dropped up 9 before that muffed punt. Literally, as bunny of a pick six you can get, guy just drops it. They would have been up 16. If any of those things go differently, is Riley staying? All their quarterbacks are staying. You're excited about the SEC and the chances you have next. It's like 2 plays maybe swing the like whole
thing,
franchise or organization. What's it called? Program. Anyways, who's up next?
We got Jamie.
Jamie, what's up, man? How was your holiday?
Oh, it was all right, except for watching Ohio State get their teeth kicked in.
Sorry to hear that.
Hey.
Did you have a future or something, or what? I mean, Qwan hasn't bragged yet about that, but he's
team.
technically a Michigan fan.
Hail to the victors, valiant.
You
Are you done?
even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
Yes. They were due, as Carlos would say. They were absolutely due. Jim Harbaugh was due. Have you looked at any of the championship games yet? Excuse me.
Yeah. I actually was looking at that Western Kentucky. I didn't realize there was going to be weather.
I saw someone write that in a thread, but then someone said it's in a dome, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need to check on that. But if it's in San Antonio, I'm pretty sure it's in a dome anyway, so I don't think there is weather. But that was actually, I just remembered this convo last night in a thread I was in, and someone thought it was outdoors, and it's not, so never mind. There isn't weather. Don't worry about that. You can ignore it.
All right. Well, then let's go Western Kentucky team total over 35.5. UTSA's got like the 70th ranked pass defense, and Western just slings it all over the place. So I don't necessarily know if they're going to win the game. I mean, they lost the shootout earlier this year when the two of them faced off, but I just don't really trust UTSA to be able to hold them down. I think they get to 40, so 35.5 is short enough for me to bet over on that.
Minus 118, I believe, is the price. By the way, like, if you're worried about the passing game, that's
115.
Where's that at?
It's not at US.
Okay, can use that. That's fine. If you're worried about the pass game for UNT and the defense on that side, look, they just gave up, like, I'm looking at it, like almost 350 yards on the ground to North Texas and 6 touchdowns. So they couldn't stop the run either this last week. I have no clue. even if Western Kentucky does run, they probably have some success the few times they do.
They don't. I mean, they literally don't run. They're like 123rd out on running, and it's not because I don't think it's because they're bad at it. They just like literally don't. Like I'd have to look at what their rushing attempts per game are, but I would be willing to guess that it's dead last.
Yeah, I mean they throw like 40 something times a game, but they did run 34 times against Marshall this last week, for example. Like they run a lot of plays, they run less frequently than most teams. But point is, if they're running 15 times even, North Texas couldn't stop the run at all this last week. Now they're going to prep for the pass, and if Western Kentucky's running those 15 times efficiently, it just kind of bodes well for your over.
Yeah. So my futures are looking all right, except for Stroud. But even then, I mean, maybe Bryce Young doesn't play well this weekend. I don't know. It's still probably Bryce Young. But we have Wake to win the ACC at like plus 275. We've got UGA to make the playoff. We've got Cincinnati to make the playoff. So feeling pretty good about those, locking in early.
I have a question. If Bama beats Georgia and Oklahoma State beats Baylor, is Cincinnati going or is Oklahoma State going?
So Bama beats Georgia, so they're both in.
Michigan's in, assuming Michigan wins too.
Michigan's in. I don't know. I mean, that's where it gets close, right? But
yeah.
I really don't think Bama will beat Georgia. Oh, yeah, I got that too, Georgia to win the SEC. Yeah, I mean, that'd be close. I have heard people discussing that one, and they say Cincinnati has the better wins. Although I guess they beat Notre Dame and then Indiana and then a bunch of, mediocre group of 5 teams.
Yeah, the Houston win for them this weekend would be similar to Oklahoma State beating Baylor. They're both Baylor's ranked a little higher, yeah.
Yeah. So Oklahoma State's best win is Oklahoma and Baylor then, right?
Yeah, and then they lost to Iowa State by 3. The Boise win doesn't look as good earlier on this season. The Texas win doesn't look as good either. Texas dropped off, so TCU is garbage. Yeah, so it's basically the Oklahoma and Baylor ones.
I think it depends on how Cincinnati looks against Houston. It's really how does Oklahoma State look against Baylor? How does Cincinnati look against Houston? It could be a whole Ohio State, Wisconsin, and then TCU situation like in 2014. Yeah. If Oklahoma State comes out and wins 59-0 and Cincinnati wins by 10 against Houston, they can probably make a little bit more of a case for Oklahoma State. But if Cincinnati comes out and just houses Houston and Oklahoma State wins by, single digits, I don't know. Cincinnati's pretty good. And
I think it's going to be an interesting sweat. I'm rooting for Cincy just because I want to see them at least have some sort of shot. But we will see. All right, Jamie. Appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you later.
See you guys. Yep. Bye.
We got John up.
What's up, John? How was your weekend, man?
Very good, Preston. How was yours?
Nice to hear. Mine was great. Enjoyed some time, watched a bunch of sports. Excited for the week. Championship week's one of the best. Yeah. We got a great NBA game tonight. So, just getting ready. But what do you want to lock in? Have you been looking at football, hockey? I think you do hockey sometimes too. What have you?
I do some hockey. I do like a play tonight, but obviously, congratulations. To Mike, it's a done deal. So
yeah.
I'm going to look at Tiger Woods does a little tournament out in the Bahamas, Hero World Tournament. It's only 20 people invited, and I'm looking to take a future there. And
all right, who's the player that you want? I'm going to see if this pops up.
It should pop up. Justin Thomas.
Okay, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's it called? The Hero World Challenge?
Yes.
All right, I see 11-1. That's the best price.
Yeah, 11-1 was the best price, and I think he'd be the most motivated of everybody. With Tiger's injury, they're really close friends. Probably the only real close friend, one of the few close friends Tiger has. I know he knows a lot of people. So I think he'll be motivated to win Tiger's tournament there. So just taking a shot with him at 11-1. And there's no cut or anything. They play 4 rounds standard scoring and everything? Sure, just standard scoring. There's nothing really strange about it, but it's just real good players, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think 11-1 is very fair with a 20-man field. I was surprised at some of the odds. I remember before they cut the odds a lot lower than they did this time. So I think there's some value there, actually.
Well, I was just because I know from someone that doesn't follow golf, I know who Justin Thomas is. And,
yeah.
11-1 is like 8 point something percent break even point.
Yeah.
So, if
With
there's only
20
20 people,
players,
is Justin Thomas winning at least 8% of the time? It's probably a little higher. I don't know. Even without some friendship angle, it does seem like a good price.
Right. I saw I see a lot of people playing that normally wouldn't play this and say the odds are a little bit higher than they've been in years past. So we'll see. I mean, you still have to pick the winner, obviously, so it's tough.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you were just randomly doing it's like 5%. I guess how good are the other 19 golfers? I don't even know who else is in it. But
right.
There's
probably 4, I would say, that couldn't win. There's a good 16 of them that have a legitimate shot, I would say. So it's not like they have no-name players in there. There's a lot of good players. I mean, I think Rory McIlroy's a favorite.
The odds being offered are probably pretty balanced then, just throughout the whole group. There's no real long shots.
Yeah.
No, not one huge favorite. That's kind of a fun tournament. I'm going to have to follow it.
Yep. All right.
Cool, man. We'll talk to you later on.
All right.
See ya.
Yep. Bye.
Who's up next?
We got Hunter in Houston.
Hunter, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Preston?
Nothing. What are you looking at early? You locking in something for December? You got something today? What do you think?
I'm going to start with December. I'm already obsolete this month. I'm going to do the under 72.5 on the Wake Forest and Pittsburgh game.
All right, so I'm going to go through all of my championship numbers later at the end of the show. This is one that I do have a little bit lower. Not enough for me to bet it, but I do agree your way slightly. What's your breakdown? What are you looking at?
They're just both middle of the pack teams. Wake Forest, they went pretty much 6-6 against the over-unders this season. So they're pretty much 500. I just think it's going to be a tougher game. Maybe like a 42-14 type game.
Whoa, you think who do you think's going to win by 30?
I think Pittsburgh wins like that.
Well, then you should just be laying 3.
Yeah,
you can get 3 plus 100 a few spots.
You said plus 100 at -3?
Yeah. I would bet if you really think they're going to handle Wake. That's the way to go.
I do. If it's plus 100, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that then.
All right. Easy enough. If it go, you can go under tomorrow.
Right.
Like if you like both, we can lock both in. But
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right,
easy enough.
I appreciate you, boss.
Yep. Take it easy. That's happened a few times where it's like, oh, I want this total. Like I see like a 42-14 game. I'm like, wait, so you think one of the teams that's laying 3 is going to win by 28? You should probably just bet the team to win by 3 or more.
Did he take that, or did he?
Yeah, he switched to Pitt -3 plus 100.
All right.
That's at DraftKings -101. A few other spots, or 3s that are flat. But yeah, if he really thinks Pitt's going to handle him, wouldn't even bother with the under personally. Or you could look at team totals, like Jamie was kind of identifying with Western Kentucky. You could bet Wake under 35.5 if you really think they're only going to get to like 14-21 or somewhere in that range. They could score 35 and you're still winning. So anyway, there are other options to attack it. Who is up next?
We got Jim in Philly.
How's it going, Jim? How's the holiday?
I was good and had a good betting weekend. Got crushed by D-Jax, former Eagle. Took over the lead for the month, but hey, you live with the first touchdown, and you die with it. So,
look, I forgot actually that Jim, who's second, would have won otherwise, is an Eagles fan, former Eagle, Deshaun Jackson. That was the whole reason Mike even used it in the first place as a Cowboys fan, is he remembered how many times D-Jax shot him and would just score these big early touchdowns in Cowboys-Eagles games. So that's kind of funny, actually, how that came full circle to some degree.
Life is always ironic.
Yeah, I appreciate he's a good sport. Jim's a good sport. You can just look at something then for December, or did you actually look at the board to see if there was some 25-1 dog that is today? I don't even think there is, but
No. I mean, even Tarleton State last night, I don't think was 25-1. So, but no, I'm not going to waste my time there. I'm going to take Arizona Cardinals -7.5 if it's floating. I think it should be double digits. I know it's getting up to 8 in some spots, but
and Kyler's supposed to be back, supposedly, right?
Yeah, he should be back. And that's where, to me, it takes the double digits. I think they still have a shot without him to cover that number. You know, as my team preseason, they're still under the radar. No one really talks about them, but I mean, I think they're the best team in the league. So with Kyler, I think they're going to roll Chicago with their lame duck coach. Doesn't really matter who's quarterbacking for them either. But yeah, offense, defense, I mean, they're clicking. So I think it's a good time to take them for a ride.
Are they flying under the radar? Are we sure about that?
I mean, I think they are. I don't like. The argument every week is like, you know, are the Chiefs back? Is it the Bills or the Patriots? You know, the Packers. I don't think they get enough credit on the market. I'll say that. I think, you know, most, you know, professionals or whoever runs their numbers, like, I don't think anybody has them power rated first.
I mean, Tampa Bay's first. I think that's just. I think that's fine. Then the Chiefs obviously still get respect. They're in a different conference anyway, so pricing is kind of correlated to which conference you're in. So an AFC team being the next favorite makes sense. After that, it's Cardinals and Packers. They're basically the same price.
See, that's crazy because I actually have – I mean, I think the Bills are second, and I think they're just below the Cardinals. I'm surprised at how
the Bills are
–
at least I'm looking at
on them.
I'm looking at Pinnacle, and the Bills are just behind Arizona in the Super Bowl odds. So they would be fifth. Arizona would be fourth, just slightly behind Green Bay. NFC only, they're basically the same exact price.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Okay.
I think Arizona's getting respect without having Kyler Murray for a month and being the fourth favorite in the whole league. And one team is the Buccaneers and one team is the Chiefs, and the other team is Aaron Rodgers, who they're 10 or 11-1 ATS or something like that so far this year. I mean, I think it's pretty respectable to have. I mean, you were right about Arizona for sure. I just don't know if there's some catch up now to be had because they're pretty much the fourth favorite in the NFL, and that's the third team in the NFC. If you think they're better than Green Bay, there's an argument there, but they're basically tied, just behind the two powerhouses. But anyway, we can lay the 7.5 for this weekend regardless. It's moved up to 8 most spots, so a couple 7.5s left.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later on.
All right, thanks.
You think if Stafford would have won that game, he'd have a chance at MVP? He's kind of been slowly drifting off, but I think he can't win over Rodgers now.
Their team is just, man, listen, the last 2 games, 40 minutes on the field for the defense. And like he didn't
each of the last 2 games.
Yeah. I don't think he played terrible. It's just,
I mean, they scored points.
Yeah,
they just gave up 36.
McVay going for 4th and 1 inside their own 30. That's a killer against Aaron Rodgers. That's just dumb.
No, that's probably why you want to go for it. So you don't give the ball to Aaron Rodgers by punting it to him.
And I'm one of those idiots. That's what I was reading while you were talking.
Can't believe they went for it on 4th and 1.
Well, the play call was terrible. So I'll give you that. Carlos is up.
Carlos, what's up? How's it going? How's your week?
Preston, how are you? I am in La La Land with my Washington football team, winning last night in dramatic fashion, as always. We always keep it interesting.
It does seem like all the Washington games go down to the wire. 1-score games, win or lose.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. I wanted your thoughts, a little bit. I wanted your thoughts. I don't know if you spoke on it or not. I just kind of got in. I just kind of caught in. Your thoughts on the whole Corey Seager and Mad Max moving for baseball? What are your thoughts? You're the baseball guy. I want to know pick your brain a little bit on those moves.
I do like baseball, but I'm far from a baseball guy. I'll just preface with that. But I am a Dodgers fan. We got the picture of the stadium here on the left. Look, as soon as they traded for Trey Turner, and they have Gavin Lux, who's supposed to be, an eventual all-star as well, the question was, well, then what in the world do you do with Corey Seager? Do you even bring him back? And now we have the answer. There was probably a price that they would have brought him back, but not $325 million or whatever it was. So he's on his way to Texas. That's totally fine. The Dodgers will be fine. The Max Scherzer one, I don't know about spending that much money on a 37-year-old that basically washed out the back third of the season last year anyway. Like, his arm just kind of dying. Was it because he was injured? There was no surgery he had post-season, after the season ended, I mean. Right. Maybe Max is just it's hard for 38-year-olds to be as good as they were when they were younger. I don't know. I wouldn't have paid him that much. And I know Mets fans are going to be excited. Do they really think they have a window this next year? Probably. They're not that good. That's what's weird about it all too. But it was only a 3-year deal. They probably are just hoping that 2 of the 3 years are good. But I'm not banking on it. So I wouldn't have paid him that much for that side of things.
Cool. So I want to go. The little birdie has told me try to start off December with a golf bet. Justin Rose. Do you have any numbers on Justin Rose top 10?
Is it that same tournament, the Tiger Woods one? Someone else did that with Justin Thomas earlier.
Yeah, I want Justin Rose, if you have a number on him.
28-1.
Get some golf. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Fair enough.
Tomorrow starts a new month.
It does. It does. Mike just obliterated everyone. We will lock you in for that, Carlos. By the way, that actually is another $50 that you'll owe because Carlos didn't win this month. I just realized. But
what was the first 50? That's the 50 that I always put in.
So it goes into the next month's prize pool? Got it. So that'll go in for December is what you're saying.
I paid you. I got to put it in. So it's
okay. So the 50 for October is in the November prize pool already.
I gave it to you on.
That's fine. We've been rolling it into the following month.
No.
So the fact that he loses November, it goes into the December prize pool.
Carlos, you shut your mouth. You better tell this birdie to hit something.
Yeah, tell the birdie to win a game.
Tell this birdie to get one of these first touchdowns.
All right, Carlos. We'll talk to you later.
All right, take care.
No, you say no. You've said no twice, and I'm pretty sure you're trying to say yes. When he loses November, which he just did, that 50 goes into the December prize pool.
No, I pay it for.
Right, so then you owe 50 for November then.
Yeah.
All right, so then you asked me what was the 50 at the start of November.
So we're saying the same thing.
We're not though, because he keeps saying no. We'll figure it out.
We're saying the same thing. The 50 that you calculated, you get. So it's already in there. So I just got to give you the 50.
But the 50 for losing November locks in tonight at midnight will go towards December. Because you already sent me 50 the first day of November, which is for losing October. Are you really not following?
I get what you're saying, but I don't think we've been doing it that way.
So then you owe 50 more for November. I mean, that's worse for you. I don't know. I'm just trying to
figure it out. I'll calculate.
Who's next?
We got Paul.
What's up, Paul? How'd your holiday go?
It was great. We took the family on a vacation to the mountains, had a good time, and
that's right.
My 10-year-old is my 10-year-old is a big Michigan fan, so he was ecstatic over the results on Saturday. So he's been watching the highlights every day since. So he's over the moon right now. So everything went well.
You're from? Is it Alabama, or in Alabama?
Yeah, Tuscaloosa. Yep.
So you missed that game if you were in the mountains, or were you hearing about it, streaming it somehow? How did that go?
We were actually driving on the way back, so he was watching it on my phone in the car.
Okay.
And he was having a good old time. So happy camper. So when his team loses, he's not the best camper. So I'm glad that they won, especially because we were in the car. So
yeah, that's a good point. If you had a drive ahead of you, you were rooting them on like no tomorrow. Cool. What do you want to lock in for today? What are you looking at?
Yep. I think I'm going to be a little bit bold, and I'm going to go Baylor money line for this weekend.
All right. What's your thought process here?
Well, the first matchup, obviously Baylor lost by 10 to Oak State. They did create 3 turnovers and were in the game pretty much the entire game. But I maybe I'm giving too much credit, but I think Dave Aranda is a premier coach when it comes to defending spread-type quarterbacks. And just because, I've seen him in the SEC for so long do that so well, I think that having a second time to prepare for that offense, and I think that he's going to have a good plan, and their offense is playing better than they were when they initially faced off with the Cowboys. So I think that I think that they get them this Saturday. I think that they have a lot of confidence, and the game against Oklahoma with that Oklahoma State just played like I think you had mentioned earlier that it could have gone either way, and I'm not sure if they're playing their best ball right now. So I like Baylor. I thought about taking the points, but I'm just going to go straight up. So
that's fine. I can give you plus 180. Nick had mentioned earlier when he called, he took the early line was 6. There's plenty of 5.5 still. My personal projection's closer to 4.5, so I lean your way. Not enough for me to bet 5.5 or 5, but it is a little bit high. In Oklahoma, could have gone either way. Like they should have won that game. It was and then I don't know if you can go from should have won and gone to the Big 12 title to not having your coach and quarterbacks in 2 days, but they found a way. And so we were talking and reminiscing about that, but it's it's wild. But we'll lock you in. Baylor money line. I don't mind it.
I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. Take care.
I think. Bye.
My kid he's not a good sport either. My boy, he's half of his kid's age, but
I saw.
Like he loses it. Oh yeah, that's true. What did you see? What happened?
Well, no, the
cup stuff.
The cup stuff.
He knocked down his cups, and
yeah.
No, he lost like a game of Monopoly the other night too, and just that dang wheel of names. Like if he went on that huge heater where he was winning every 50-50 against my daughter, and then he finally loses one. And he was like, he just lost, like
couldn't take it.
It's like you can't win every time. Anyways, he might be pretty competitive. Maybe it's a good thing if he can hone it correctly. Who's up?
We got Evan.
What's up, Evan? How'd your holiday go?
Hi. All was well. How about yourself, Preston?
It was great. Thank you. What are you looking at for today?
So I'm going to stick with the MLS. I don't know if you guys got a number for me from last week on Wednesday. I wanted to take Portland to win the whole cup. And you guys were talking about it, but I never actually heard you guys put a number. So
did you put a price on it? We never actually looked. Did you put it into the chat or something?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. It was 13-1. I just wanted to.
Okay, no, that's fine. We'll give you 13-1.
All right.
No problem.
All right, and then tonight I'm going to take New York City FC to qualify. I saw plus 150 at Bovada.
Okay. Not money line, therefore, if it goes into extra time or shootouts or something, they just have to advance, right?
That is correct.
Okay. That's easy. They're about plus 260 to win, but then plus 150 to qualify. All right. Yeah, that's easy enough. Is this basically like a wild card game in the MLS?
This is the semifinals for the Eastern Conference. So the winner will play the Philadelphia Union for the Eastern Conference. And then on the Western Conference side, it's Portland versus Real Salt Lake.
Ooh. I own one MLS jersey, and it's Real Salt Lake. So do they do a home and away? Is that how it works?
No, it's one game elimination in the MLS.
So is it in Salt Lake City? I'm guessing if they were that big
It's
of a
in
dog,
Portland.
they must have been the away team, right?
No, Portland actually just beat the Colorado Rapids, who were the 1 seed, and then through some sheer luck, Real Salt Lake beat Sporting Kansas City, and because of the reshuffle, Portland actually now is holding the home
Dang.
team.
All right, you're in a great spot then. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then I'm feeling confident about NYCFC because there was the football game on Sunday, and it takes them a day to change the fields. So there's not much, they haven't been practicing on that field that much, the team itself, the New England Revolution. So it's kind of just an underdog year in MLS.
Nice. We'll give it to you, plus 150. Good luck. We will talk to you later on.
Have a great one.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
That is a lot of underdogs. I guess it happens when you're doing one-offs. It's not even like home away. There's no best of series. If it's just a one game winner moves and advances, that's underdogs can come through.
Do they still think that MLS is going to grow? I mean, has it grown? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I only, when I lived in Salt Lake, is the only reason I went to the matches, and I got a jersey, or it's not even a jersey. It's just a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That says Real Salt Lake on it, but it's like a mesh. Anyway, that's why I said jersey. It's not like a cotton T-shirt. Anyways, you get the point. It's like an Under Armour one.
Yeah.
I wear it occasionally still, but that's it. I loved going to the games. Also, that's where the whole under trend started, and then we went 5-5 this year, betting Dodgers unders. Whenever I attend a game, it goes under. It started going to 8 or 9 RSL games. And I noticed after a few that they never score when I went to the games. And then I started tracking it, and that's why we're at 17 straight unders when I've gone to a sporting event. Anyways, and there was a Ohio State USC Fiesta Bowl in there. When I was in Dallas for the holiday, we went to the game. Maybe one NBA game in there. I didn't count. It doesn't count Summer League. I covered Summer League in Vegas and watched 10 games a day for a week. Wasn't 70 straight unders that week. So I throw that out, but one-off events that I've gone to. But that's where it started. So everyone should be thinking Real Salt Lake. Who's up next?
We got Brian.
What's up, Brian? How'd your weekend go?
Hey, Preston. It was great, nice and relaxing. How was yours?
It was good. And the Pats got a W for you, so they just keep trucking along.
Still in first in the division. Huge game Monday night.
It is. Do you have any early thoughts on it?
I'm not too confident, but I'm obviously still going to bet it. But yeah, I think we'll probably split, and we'll win the game in Foxborough, and they'll win the game in Buffalo.
If there was ever a time to sell high on this Pats team, it's probably against the Bills at home under it's under a field goal now. You can get 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of like the Bills. That's what I'm getting at. But also, it's Mac Jones, and he's going to win the MVP, let alone Rookie of the Year. So I have no idea. I've been impressed as all can be with this run. But I'm with you. I wouldn't be confident here. I think Buffalo should take care of business. But anyways, what are you looking at for today? What do you want to lock in?
So I was debating between two games in college. One of them was App State, so I heard you like them. What are your thoughts on Iowa, Michigan? I don't know if you discussed that one yet.
We have not. I had a friend that reached out, said, this is a classic traditional letdown spot, right? Maybe. I don't know. Michigan has to win the game to go to the playoff, though. I imagine, yes, it's great to beat Ohio State. Maybe there is a letdown, but maybe there isn't. Also, I think Iowa stinks. Petrus came in, who'd been hurt, and then they somehow scored 19 straight in the fourth against Nebraska. Nebraska just finds ways to lose games that are just dumbfounding every single week. My pure projection is 11.3 if Petrus plays. The market's 11 or 10.5. It's not enough for me to play anything, but I don't see where Iowa... Look, this is my point about Petrus. Sorry, I skipped over it. He's been out. He didn't start the Nebraska game. Why? because he's not healthy. He came in and they actually ended up, he didn't even do anything through the air, but they had the run with him under center. But the reason he didn't play or start the game is because he's not 100%. So can a 75 to 80% Petrus or the backup score on Michigan? I don't see how they do. So theoretically, the line's fair, though. 11 is, I think, perfect. But yeah, I wouldn't just be like fading a letdown spot or something like that or anything in that range.
I'm kind of hoping to lay 10 if it gets there throughout the week, but for today's pick, I'm just going to go App State -2.5. I think both of those are going to be winners, though.
I can get with you there. Maybe it does, but yeah, that's the only way I would look then is laying 10 with Michigan. I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
App State can give you the 2.5. I think that's fine. That's, again, like the one side that I actually do think is worthwhile on the current board. So, yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
we will talk to you later on.
I like that quite a bit. Thanks, Preston.
Yep, see ya. Qwan was telling me that we need to go to the next caller while I was waiting for the next call.
We got to start rolling through these.
How many do we have?
We got 5 right now.
All right.
Hayden in Dallas.
Hayden, how's it going, man? How'd your weekend go?
Weekend was all right. Holiday weekend. Don't work, so it's always good.
Yes.
I will be looking to Thursday night, clock of the millennium, your Dallas Cowboys -4.
I think you've said this before, like 2 weeks ago.
Against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why is this more of a lock?
Yeah,
now?
well, I mean, I guess it's like the ultimate buy low, right? Cowboys are quote unquote stumbling. And then
buy low would have been before the season. You're buying the dip.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, you always got to buy the dip. Stocks, they only go up.
Yes.
Just like the Cowboys.
TFD.
So, yeah. If I've looked correctly, like, yeah, the Cowboys have all this COVID stuff, but Dak Prescott might be infinity times better than Taysom Hill. Isn't he supposed to start Thursday night?
I hope so. Did they announce that officially? He's good to go? I hadn't seen that.
I've like seen it. I've seen it around. I know ESPN Fantasy has him projected for like 21 points, but like Taysom Hill starting, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, you got to go Cowboys before.
The most recent update as of about 50 minutes ago, Peyton was asked about Thursday starting quarterback, and he responded, "We'll see." I'll tell you this, Taysom Hill's better than Trevor Siemian. Now, the question is just if Hill's even healthy. He's been out for a few weeks. So if it's Siemian, I think you're in great shape. If it's Hill, I actually don't like it as much. But either way, if you think Hill stinks, then you're in great shape either way. So maybe you're right. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I mean, he can stink. He can stink. He doesn't have to stink. All I know is that number 4 is behind center. So you got a chance to cover every week. You got a chance to win every week. Doesn't matter. No Amari Cooper. Don't matter. So, yeah, Cowboys -4.
All right, man. We will lock you in. Good luck.
All right, dude.
Bye. By the way, the only 4 in the whole market is the sharpest book in the world. Everyone else is 4.5 or 5, which is usually telling. So I can give them the 4, but it's a little dangerous. Who's up next?
We got John in Cleveland.
How's it going, John? How was your week?
Besides my Cowboys losing on Thanksgiving, everything was great, Preston. How about yourself?
It was good. And Qwan can relate with his Lions and the usual losing that takes place on Thanksgiving.
Lifelong LA Rams fan.
Well, that wasn't very good.
A tradition like any other.
What do you want to lock in for today or for the week?
Yeah, I mean, what are the odds I call right after Hayden stealing my bet? Unbelievable.
You want the same? Dallas -4?
Yeah, except the most important, crucial factor in the whole thing that he missed is Mike McCarthy's out, which is a big net positive for the Cowboys.
That's fair. I try to always kindly disagree, but I can't disagree with that. Did they announce who's actually like head coach? Like, is Kellen Moore taking over? Or is he sticking with the play calling and someone else's?
No, it's Dan Quinn.
Oh, well, I take back
He's
the
gonna have head coaching duties.
I don't know. I mean, he had a good run, but then he had a really bad run for a few years. This is a wild card game now. Interesting.
He's really used to losing to New Orleans too, so he'll probably try to keep that the same.
That's true. Everyone's going to talk about this week how Dan Quinn has familiarity with the Saints from when he coached in Atlanta. And
Yeah, that'll be
gonna love
hilarious.
Dallas.
Yeah, he's really familiar as they lose over and over and over again.
That's true. All right, man.
But
We will
hopefully the
lock you
market's
in.
a little undervalued. A lot of the Cowboys players coming back, and so hopefully the boys get it done.
They definitely were depleted on Thanksgiving, and they got some extra, I guess no extra time. They're playing Thursday again anyway. But regardless, at least have Lamb coming back, and I think one of the linemen, maybe Zeke. So
DeMarcus
hopefully you
Lawrence
guys are in
is gonna
better
be
shape.
there, so.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks
Cool,
a lot,
man.
Preston. Appreciate it.
Take it easy. Yep. See ya.
See ya.
We got Patrick.
Patrick, how's it going, man? How was your holiday?
Oh, it was good. 5 days at home with the 2 kids, the dog, and the wife. I was ready for it to be over. So that tells you all you need to know.
Fair enough.
Although my alcohol intake was high. It was very high.
That helps.
That helped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'll be quick since I know we're late in the show here. I'm going to play an embarrassingly square teaser. It looks like I can still wong this thing at DraftKings for the Vikings, Cardinals, and the Colts to get those all be below the key of 3. So, and I know that's not ideal to play 3 away teams on teasers, bringing them down. But, I don't see how Detroit can keep up with the Vikings offense, especially without Swift. And the Bears they're dead. And I mean, D-Hop and Murray's going to be back, so I don't see them competing either. And Houston's terrible. I mean, the Jets were so bad against Houston, and they still beat the Texans. So I mean, I think this is a pretty solid teaser, but still not ideal to tease 3 away teams.
It is interesting that DraftKings is offering Indy at 8. The rest of the market is 9 or 9.5, basically to avoid, and have teaser protection. But DraftKings is like, bring it on. We love Tyrod.
Well, you know what? It's ironic considering I can't bet more than like $50 there anymore. That I get to play.
Did you see the announcement today? Not the announcement, but the quote from what's his name, Jason Robbins, I think.
Oh, you know what? That's such a where that they basically are kicking out everybody that's profitable. It's just an entertainment type, I guess, book. So,
yeah, he said his literal quote was, "This is an entertainment activity. People who are doing this for profit are not the players we want." Basically admitted if you're good and you win, you're not going to be able to bet here. Interesting strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, I can bet there. I just can't bet much there anymore.
Yeah, they don't actually ban anyone, but they'll
frustrating.
limit you to a point where you're basically banned. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife's got an account there now. So.
And then your son.
So yeah, we'll go with that. Well, as soon as he turns 18, it might be my dad after my wife. So we'll just go through the family.
Fair enough. It's been done before. I'll just leave it at that. Hey, appreciate the call. Take it easy tonight. We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
We got 2 more. Or did anyone else call in?
2 more.
All right, let's go with it.
Hunter B.
Sorry, Hunter. What's up, man? How are you doing? How was your holiday?
It was nice. Yeah, I got to spend time with my 3-year-old and my 2 newborns. So, yeah,
Beautiful.
by the end, I was pretty tired. Yeah.
Congrats on the newborns. I don't know if I knew that or you mentioned it before, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're like 4 months old, but they're right in the thick of it. But
keep it up.
I'm gonna buy low on Alabama.
Ooh, okay. This is the game we haven't talked about much yet. I went through with callers, basically hit on every other one, maybe other than Cincy Houston. But yeah, break it down and then I'll share some thoughts right at the end.
Okay, I'm gonna hit the money line. If I was getting a flat 7, I would take it, but it's I think there's like 1-7 out there, but it's -120. I think the Auburn game. Obviously, this number was 4 right before the Auburn game. Auburn game was really weird. We lost Jameson Williams early in the second quarter, and he's basically the only deep threat. So then McCreary for Auburn was able to shadow Messi for the whole game, and I think McCurry is probably the top corner in the SEC, or he's among the top few. Damian George was terrible at right tackle. He was getting burned all game. We shifted that a little bit in the fourth quarter, and the offensive line did look better for that quarter. So hopefully we can carry that through. We found maybe another deep threat in Ja'Cory Brooks in the fourth quarter after we lost Jameson Williams.
You're really relying on that fourth quarter of they finally moved the ball.
Well, I mean, they did make two significant changes, and they were able to move the ball a lot better. I know it's a super small sample.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, I think the defense has been playing better the last 2 or 3 games. It's sort of intangible, but they seem to play with a lot more intensity this week. And Georgia really hasn't played back on the other side of the ball. Georgia hasn't really played an offense that is capable of throwing. They played Arkansas, but KJ Jefferson was hurt in that game, and Traylon Burks, I think, was out for that entire game. Beyond that, they really haven't played a very capable offense. Now, Alabama's offense has not looked very capable lately, but they have shown some flashes, earlier in the season. So.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in because we have to
got.
take one more call after you two, but
Yep,
I'll share my thoughts real quick. I tend to agree with you. I think it's interesting because we've seen how dominant Georgia has been, and I've been upgrading Georgia, and I think I said this last week, a Georgia team that that was the only future I really liked preseason at 8-1 to win it all. Like, I was already super bullish Georgia, and I've continued to adjust as they've just crushed teams. I think they're beating teams by an average of like 32 point something points. The most points they gave up in a game was Tennessee, scored 17. That was in Tennessee, in Knoxville. Like, they've been fantastic, and I still think 6.5 is high. I think it should be closer to 4. That's just where my pure number is. If it was 7, I would for sure be betting Bama. Waiting to see if it gets there. I'm not sure it will. But you look at two things. One, priors, do they matter? Yes. Do they matter as much now versus before? No. But look, if you're looking at just straight, like, who's the quarterback? Bryce Young's way more highly touted quarterback and talented quarterback versus Stetson Bennett, who's like walk-on hero story. Like, and overall talent perspective, Bama's probably, if you were to actually just grade recruiting ratings, better. It's not like Georgia has a massive edge in the coaching realm. Are there issues with the Bama offensive line? Yes, they haven't been as good. All of that still stands true, but Georgia, the best teams they beat this year, at the time they beat them, Clemson ended up being pretty average. They beat Florida. Florida dropped off and lost a bunch of games straight after that. And then they beat Auburn on the road when Bama struggled. That's like the one comp game, but even Auburn was a 500 team this year. They haven't really played anyone with an offense as good as Bama's. I'm with you. I think it's going to be closer than people think. And on top of that, last thing, 3 different people yesterday and today asked me how in the world Alabama keeps it close against Georgia. That's usually when you know.
There's nobody, yeah.
Like, no, I haven't heard anyone that's like,
Alabama any shot.
Love Alabama. They're getting
0
6.5. Yeah. So I'm with you. I hope it gets to 7. That's
right.
a buy point. I think I'm like 4.3 is my number, and I would buy at 7, not rushing into it. But anyways, we'll let you go, man. Talk to you later on.
Thanks, Preston. All right.
See ya.
All right, we had Ty call in real quick, and Mike is last. I want to give Mike his due.
His victory lap. All right. Ty, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Doing well. What do you want to lock in? Something today or going for the week?
I was gonna go Bama as well. It's too early in the week for any first halves to be available, right?
I can look. By the way, the money line's plus 210. I don't know if I ever quoted that, Qwan, for the last call. First halves, there's plenty of first halves.
Yeah, I'll take first half best money line you can see you have available.
Plus 160. Bama first half.
Yeah, that's what I'll take. I'm gonna double down on my Bryce Young Heisman future, and I think you went over it already, but I just think that everybody's underestimating Alabama, and it's a shoo-in that Georgia wins this game, and there's no way Saban's going to allow that to happen.
Beautiful. I'm with you, man. I think that's the play.
All right, man.
Just
Later.
we're not rushing into it myself, but we'll give you 160 money line first half.
We got our November winner, Mike.
Mike just obliterated everybody yet again, like nearly plus 45x. Well done. How was your holiday, by the way, too? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Other than I think I wrote in the Discord, we had a sweet potato pie instead of pumpkin pie. Everything else went swell. So no one took any bets for today, right?
You are a lock. No one even bothered. You can't lose.
Sheesh. I was worried Joey might call in. I'd have to copy his bet if he took like a long shot.
Poor Joey. I don't know if he's even listening to the show still.
It's been a long time.
He took that personally. Yeah,
No,
Joey fires like a 60 to 1. Yeah.
I think there's like different strategies, and I've enjoyed taking the long shots first. I think the other strategy that became popular at the beginning of the month was taking like the huge favorites.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just taking the long shots as long as you get over 20 units. There's only 20 days in a month that, you guys probably have the show. So if you can just get past 20 units, you can beat 20 huge money lines. And then if one of them loses, that's GG. But yeah, the Deshaun Jackson touchdown was blissful and painful all in one bundled package, just like that entire game for a Cowboys fan.
Well done.
But that being said, not going to let off the gas here. Going to go straight for the collateral heading into next month, and I'm going to lock in Patrick Reed in the Hero World Golf Championship at 30 to 1 on Fox Bet.
Yep.
This tournament's in Bermuda, as John said. It's a Tiger Woods Invitational, so only 20 of probably the best golfers in the world. I think John Rahm's, one of the best golfers it's missing. But other than that, all golfers, Preston, you'd probably recognize at least half the names in this field. So that's pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah, that's probably why Justin Thomas was 11 to 1 or whatever. It's just they're all the best players, basically.
Yeah. So Patrick Reed finished second in the Bermuda tournament in the PGA Tour about a month ago. And, it's 30 to 1 in a field of 20 golfers. It's too good for someone who's an elite golfer.
All right, man. We will lock it in 30 to 1 also, a few other spots, BetMGM. And I already closed it. There was one other book also. But a few spots have 30 to 1 if anyone's listening or wanting to tail the November winner, Last Word Cheetah. Well done, Mike. I still got to figure out a bet to do with Qwan or something to get the prize pool to 500. If we don't, I'll still just send you 500. So we'll see if we'll see if there's something fun we can do during betting extraordinaire coming up in a few minutes.
You're the man. Thanks, Preston.
See you later.
Chat bet.
What's the chat bet?
Tom Davis, Patrick Reed.
Oh, got it. He wants the same one, or he already put it in earlier.
He put it in.
Got it.
I think I just.
Well, they can both start with 30 to 1. That's fine. I feel like he's bet Patrick Reed before, actually. Tom Davis has. All right. Fair enough. You know what we should do? We should make me pick a side in every college football game and the conference championship game. In every one that I lose, I have to put $100 in the prize pool for Mike. And so he just has to wait until the weekend's over, and then I'll send him $350 plus however many games I lose times 100. Does that make sense?
Good at picking sides, though.
I hope so, but I don't have really any edges other than App State at 2.5. So I will know what these are. You don't need to write them down, but I'm going to go Western Kentucky minus 1.5, Utah minus 2.5, Baylor plus 5.5, Kent State minus 3. There's no more 2.5s on that. App State minus 2.5. I'll lay. Is Chris really 10 with Cincinnati? Sometimes their Dom Best stuff's been funky. I'll lay 10.5 with Cincinnati. I'm not sure that 10.5 is really there. And then I will take 6.5 with Bama. I will lay 3 with Pitt, and I will lay 10.5 with Michigan, and I will take 6 with Utah State. So there you go. That's a chance if I get reverse swept. Mike makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $1,000. Odds are I go like about 5 and 5, and now he gets $850, which is around the same. We've been giving out like 700 to 800 every month, so that's what we'll do. Those are the if I had to pick a side on every conference championship game, and we'll wrap it with that. We got day one of Who Wants to Be a Betting Extraordinaire coming up next. New link, new feed. It'll be on Twitter, YouTube, always on Bets TV. We're good to go. Qwan, any last thoughts?
No, nothing.
Beautiful. We'll catch you guys in just a second.